The oil fields are alive again, but this time, it's not just the land that's burning. It's the people, the power, and the price of survival. From the first second of the Landman season to trailer, you can feel the tension boiling under the Texas sun. Dust clouds roll across the rigs, workers stare into the distance like they know something terrible is coming, and the sound of machinery roars like thunder. The trailer doesn't speak softly, it screams that the fight for oil isn't over, and those who thought they won in season 1 are about to learn how deep the mud really goes. There's a weight in the air, a promise of chaos, and the kind of quiet before the storm that only Landman can deliver. The Landman season to trailer wastes no time pulling us back into its world, a place where oil means power, and power means destruction. It opens with a sweeping shot of the Texas landscape, but this isn't the golden beauty we remember. The colors are darker, the tone heavier. The once booming rigs now look like graveyards of ambition, and the silence between the machines carries stories of betrayal and loss. The world feels worn down, as if everyone has paid a price for what happened last season. Then, in the distance, the faint hum of engines begins to grow, and we know something big is coming. A familiar voice breaks through the silence. It's Beau, played by Billy Bob Thornton, his tone rough, tired, but still filled with that steel we know too well. He says something simple, something that feels like a warning, but it cuts deeper because we've seen what his choices cost. The trailer flashes between quick shots, workers striking, government meetings, fire in the oil fields. Every image is a sign that season 2 is not about rebuilding, but surviving the fallout. Every cut feels faster, sharper, showing us glimpses of characters both old and new, faces hardened by struggle and eyes filled with doubt. There's a strong sense that everything has changed. The rich are richer, but their hands are dirtier. The workers are angrier, and they're done being silent. It's not just about oil anymore. It's about control. Who owns the land, who destroys it, and who's left standing when it's gone. The background score pushes the tension higher, a slow, haunting rhythm that feels like a heartbeat about to explode. You can almost taste the dust in the air as the camera pans across a burning field, where oil spills across the ground like blood. What's powerful about this trailer is how it says so much without giving too much away. It doesn't tell us who's right or wrong. It only shows us that every choice has a cost. There's a shot of Beau staring at a rig, his face caught between guilt and determination. Behind him, the horizon glows with the light of an explosion, almost like a second sunrise. It's beautiful and terrifying at the same time, a perfect reflection of what Landman stands for. Progress born from destruction. Then, everything speeds up. The editing becomes wild, chaotic. We see gunfire, shouting, smoke filling the sky. There's a brief glimpse of Tommy looking out from a car window, eyes cold and unreadable. For a second, it feels like she's the one holding all the secrets this season. Then, just as quickly, the chaos cuts to black. The screen stays dark for a heartbeat, and we hear Beau's voice again, this land. It remembers, and that single line feels heavier than any explosion. When the title Landman Season 2 flashes on screen, it's not just an announcement, it's a challenge. The world of Landman is coming back harder, dirtier, and far more dangerous than before. This trailer doesn't just tease what's next. It warns us that no one gets out clean. Every great story isn't just about the world it builds, it's about the people who live in it, break in it, and sometimes burn it down. The Landman Season 2 trailer reminds us of that truth in every frame. It's not just about oil or power anymore. It's about the souls caught in between. And at the center of it all stands Beau, the man who once believed he could control the storm. Now he looks like someone who's learned the hard way that the storm always wins. His face is older, his voice heavier, and his silence says more than any line ever could. The trailer shows him walking through what used to be a field of opportunity, now turned into a wasteland. You can almost feel the ghosts of his past following him, the choices, the deals, the lives changed because of his hunger to keep the land alive. Beau isn't just a character anymore. He's a man haunted by the very ground he tried to save. Then there's Tommy, sharp, calm, and dangerous in her silence. The trailer doesn't show much of her, but the few seconds we do see tell us everything. The way she watches from behind tinted glass, the flicker of fire reflecting in her eyes, the unspoken power in her stillness, it all hints that she's no longer standing in the background. If Season 1 showed us her strength, Season 2 looks ready to show us her control. She's the kind of person who moves the world quietly, without raising her voice, and somehow ends up holding all the cards. In one quick shot, she's standing beside a group of men in suits, all arguing, while she remains perfectly calm. It's a small moment, but it feels like the entire world is shifting around her. Tommy knows how the game works. She's just changing the rules this time. The trailer also teases new faces, and each one carries a story we don't yet know. There's a man standing in the middle of a burning rig, his expression unreadable. He doesn't look afraid. He looks like someone who set the fire himself. Another shot shows a young woman walking through a dark hallway, her hand brushing along a wall covered in maps and photos. She's studying, plotting, watching everything. These aren't random introductions, they're pieces of a larger puzzle, and the trailer makes sure we feel their weight even without names. You can tell these characters aren't just side stories. They're about to become the ones who test everything Beau and Tommy stand for. But what really gives the trailer its power is how it connects every character through silence. No one speaks much, and yet every look feels like a conversation. Beau's guilt meets Tommy's ambition, the workers' anger meets the executive's greed. And in the middle of it all, you sense that everyone is walking toward the same explosion. Each character carries their own version of the truth, and it's clear that this season will force them to face it. There's a scene where Beau looks at an old photograph, his hand trembling slightly before he puts it away. That single gesture tells us he's not done with his past, no matter how much he wants to be. And right after that, Tommy's reflection appears in a window, her expression cold, calculating, almost ready to strike. It's like the trailer is saying, you can't bury the past when it's the ground you walk on. Every shot in this section of the trailer feels like a warning, not from the world, but from the people in it. They've changed. They've hardened. The battles from Season 1 have turned into scars, and those scars are shaping who they are now. The line between right and wrong isn't just blurred, it's gone. Beau looks like a man who's about to lose everything, while Tommy looks like someone who's ready to take it all. The tension between them is quiet but alive, like two storms waiting to collide. You can sense that when they finally meet again, it won't be with words. It'll be with consequences. Landman Season 2 doesn't just bring its characters back. It rebuilds them, breaks them, and dares us to care about them even more. The trailer makes it clear this isn't the story of heroes and villains. It's the story of survivors, each one trying to claim a piece of land that never truly belonged to them. And as the dust rises once again over Texas, one thing is certain. In Landman, no one gets away clean. The Landman Season 2 trailer doesn't just tell a story. It paints a mirror of greed, guilt, and survival. Beneath the oil rigs, the steel machines, and the white Texas sky lies something deeper, a battlefield between humanity and ambition. From the very first frame, you can sense that this season isn't about who wins, but about what's lost along the way. The land itself becomes a character, broken, stripped, and yet still alive, breathing under the weight of everything humans have done to it. The dirt is no longer just dirt. It's memory. Every gust of wind feels like a whisper from the past, reminding everyone that the earth remembers what's been taken from it. At its core, Landman Season 2 looks like a story about power, who holds it, who's fighting for it, and who's destroyed by it. The oil fields are no longer symbols of success. They're symbols of decay. Black gold, as they call it, runs like poison through every relationship, every decision, every dream. In one powerful shot, the trailer shows oil spilling into a river, spreading like a shadow that touches everything. It's not just pollution, it's corruption made visible. The trailer uses that image to remind us that every drop of oil carries a story of compromise. Power in this world doesn't come clean. It's earned through blood, sweat, and betrayal. But beyond the corruption and control lies another powerful theme: redemption. Beau's silence, his haunted eyes, and his weary steps tell a story of a man searching for forgiveness, even if he doesn't believe he deserves it. The way he looks at the rigs isn't with pride anymore. It's with regret. It's as if he's realizing that the land he fought to protect no longer needs him, it needs healing. This shift from pride to remorse turns Beau from a symbol of dominance into one of consequence. He's no longer trying to conquer the world. He's trying to understand what it means to live in the ruins he helped build. Then there's Tommy, representing the other side of the same coin. Where Beau carries guilt, Tommy carries control. Her calm, unshaken presence symbolizes the cold logic of survival in a world that rewards ruthlessness. In the trailer, she is shown standing against the backdrop of a city skyline, far from the fields, but still connected to them through her decisions. That visual contrast, the dirt of the land versus the glass of the city, speaks volumes. It's about how the consequences of greed stretch far beyond the oil fields, reaching the boardrooms and bank accounts where real power hides. Tommy isn't a villain. She's a reflection of a world where emotion is a weakness. Another striking symbol in the trailer is fire. It's everywhere, sometimes burning rigs, sometimes flickering torches, sometimes just a glow behind the clouds. Fire represents both destruction and cleansing. It's the force that can erase everything, but also the one that can start something new. When Beau stands before a burning field, it's not just the destruction of his work, it's the purging of everything that defined him. The fire becomes a metaphor for truth. It consumes lies, illusions, and leaves only what's real. And yet, as the trailer shows, even truth can burn too hot to handle. The land itself becomes a recurring voice, silent but powerful. The trailer's cinematography constantly brings us back to wide shots of empty fields, broken fences, and skies heavy with dust. It's not just a backdrop. It's a witness. Every character walks across it like a confession, and every step feels heavier. The land holds their secrets, their sins, and their survival. When Beau says, "This land remembers," it's more than a line. It's the truth that drives the entire show. The earth doesn't forget. It keeps score in silence. But beyond the greed and guilt, Landman Season 2 also explores a quieter, more human theme: the cost of ambition. Everyone in this story wants something: redemption, control, revenge, or peace. But the trailer makes one thing clear: they can't have it all. The cost is too high. Every ambition burns something else down, and the characters are left to choose which parts of themselves they're willing to lose. It's a brutal kind of honesty, one that hits harder because it feels so real. We've all chased something too far at some point, and that's what makes Landman resonate visually. The trailer uses contrast to deepen its symbolism. The darkness of oil against the brightness of fire. The silence of the fields against the noise of the machines. The stillness of characters against the chaos surrounding them. Each frame feels intentional, like a painting layered with meaning. Even the color palette tells a story: browns, golds, and grays dominating every scene, as if the entire world is caught between life and decay. It's a visual metaphor for the characters themselves, once full of hope, now stained by their own choices. By the end of the trailer, it's clear that Landman Season 2 isn't just returning to the story of oil and ambition. It's going deeper, digging into the soil of morality itself. The land, the fire, the silence, they're not just visuals. They're voices. Each one telling a story of what happens when you take too much, too fast, for too long. And as the screen fades to black, you're left with a single question echoing in your mind: how much destruction does it take before something new can grow? If there's one thing Landman does better than most shows, it's hiding its secrets in plain sight. Every frame of the Landman Season 2 Episode 1 trailer feels like it's daring us to look closer, to notice the little details buried beneath the dust and fire. The beauty of this trailer isn't just what it shows, but what it hides between the edits, the shadows, and the silence. The world of Landman has always been built on secrets, corporate ones, personal ones, and the kind that can't stay buried forever. And this new season looks ready to bring them all to the surface. The first subtle clue appears in a quick shot that most people might miss. We see Beau standing beside a rusted oil pump, his hand brushing across an old company logo. It's barely visible, faded under years of grime. But if you pause just right, you'll notice the initials HCO carved into the metal, a callback to Horizon Coal and Oil, the rival company from Season 1. That tiny moment might seem random, but it speaks volumes. It suggests that the ghosts of the past aren't done with him. Maybe Beau's fight isn't against a new enemy at all. Maybe it's against the same one that ruined him before. The trailer's brilliance lies in this kind of layered storytelling. It rewards those who pay attention. Another blink and you'll miss it shot comes around the midpoint of the trailer, a weathered photograph pinned on a wall. It shows a younger Beau with two other men, one of whom wears a badge. For a split second, the camera lingers on that image before cutting to an explosion. The meaning is clear. Season 2 is going to dig into Beau's past, perhaps revealing that his history with law enforcement and corporate deals goes deeper than we thought. It hints that his personal life, his loyalties, and even his integrity will be tested again. The trailer doesn't spell it out, but the message is there. The past isn't over. It's just waiting for the right time to strike back. Then there's Tommy's scene, one that practically bleeds mystery. She's shown sitting in a glass office, staring at a map filled with red markers. The locations are scattered across Texas, some near drilling sites, others near untouched land. But if you look closer, one of the red markers is labeled Bridgefield, a name that popped up in Season 1 during a conversation about illegal drilling permits. It's subtle, but it ties her to something big. Maybe she's planning to expand into dangerous territory, or maybe she's cleaning up someone else's mess. Either way, that single frame suggests Tommy's control isn't just about money. It's about dominance. She's not just managing the chaos, she's orchestrating it. Even the music hides clues. The trailer's haunting soundtrack begins with slow industrial sounds, mechanical clicks, and distant echoes, but halfway through, there's a low whistle that sounds eerily familiar. Fans might remember that same tune played in Season 1 during the scene where the workers staged a quiet protest before the explosion. It's a subtle way of reminding us that history repeats itself and that the tension between power and people hasn't disappeared. It's a brilliant touch, the kind of creative choice that tells you the creators are thinking far beyond surface-level storytelling. Now, let's talk about that final shot, Beau walking away from the burning rig, his silhouette swallowed by flames. It's cinematic, emotional, and deeply symbolic. Many fans believe it represents him leaving behind the world he once built. But the more you think about it, the more it feels like something else, a rebirth. The fire isn't just destroying, it's cleansing. Maybe Beau isn't running away. Maybe he's walking towards something, a reckoning, a truth, or even redemption. The trailer doesn't confirm it, but the imagery is powerful enough to make us wonder if Season 2 will shift focus from survival to transformation. As for speculation, there are a few major possibilities the trailer teases without spelling out. The first is a power war, not just between companies, but between people. Tommy looks ready to seize control. Beau seems to be rediscovering purpose, and the new faces could represent a generation ready to challenge both of them. The second theory is that Landman Season 2 will introduce a hidden player, someone pulling the strings behind the scenes. The trailer's use of off-screen voices, shadowed figures, and unanswered questions suggests there's a puppet master watching everything unfold. A shot of a man's reflection in a glass door, unrecognizable but deliberate, might be our first look at that unseen antagonist. There's also the possibility of a deeper environmental storyline. The scenes of black water, dying fields, and empty towns aren't just background detail. They point to something bigger, maybe a cover-up, maybe a natural disaster tied to the oil fields. The theme of the land remembering might take on a literal meaning, where nature itself begins to fight back. It's a poetic direction, and one that fits the moral weight of Landman perfectly. In the end, the trailer for Landman Season 2 Episode 1 is what every great teaser should. It answers nothing, but makes you question everything. It leaves breadcrumbs for fans to follow and builds a sense of dread that feels both thrilling and real. The fire, the silence, the returning faces, they all come together to promise a season that won't just continue the story, but redefine it. And as the trailer fades to black, one feeling lingers longer than the smoke, the sense that this time, the land isn't just the backdrop, it's the judge, the witness, and maybe the executioner.